What is the most successful musical of all time? Do you know the answer to that question? It's Hamilton. It's Hamilton. Hamilton has grossed more worldwide in the last 10 years than any musical ever has, and it's only 10 years old. And who wrote all of the music in Hamilton? Lin-Manuel Miranda, right? Wrong! Yes, technically Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the book, the music, and the lyrics of Hamilton. But I think we cannot underestimate the contributions of a man named Alex Lacamoire, who was responsible for the orchestrations and arrangements in Hamilton. I think that he is owed a huge part of Hamilton's success as well. And I think one example of where his contributions are most evident is this song, Helpless. Not one of the songs that people talk about the most, it's not the My Shot, but I think it's a beautiful song. It's a fantastic example of how Hamilton blends hip-hop and musical theater, and I think it's a really good example of how Alex Lacamoire's contributions made Hamilton what it is. So that's what we're talking about here today on Music Theater Theory. Whoa! Hi, by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Mateo Chavez-Lewis. I'm a professional musical theater composer and music director, splitting my time right now between here in Toronto and New York City. And I post videos like this all the time on the channel. Subscribe if it's your thing. Let's dive in. So obviously we start with this hey, 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 hey kind of thing. And then the song proper starts here with Eliza coming in with her, ooh, I do. Hey! And something that's interesting about this riff here is that what is notated here is exactly what you hear Phillippa Soo singing on the cast recording. Usually when you have these kind of free-flowing riffs, there will be something very basic notated in the sheet music, and then the expectation will be that it's an ad-lib, that the singer just kind of sings whatever they feel like singing at the time. But no, these are very specifically notated riffs. Who's responsible for notating them exactly? We don't actually know if it was Lin-Manuel Miranda or Alex Lacamoire. Here, the piano part is very simple to this section of music. Listen to this. That's exactly what's written here, right? Without Alex Lacamoire's orchestrations and arrangements, that would be what you heard. And I mean, Lin-Manuel contributed to the arrangement. I'm sure he contributed to some of the drum parts and everything because he is also very, very familiar with the music of hip-hop. But it just goes to show you how important orchestration and arrangement is in creating the unique character of a song. That is the piano part to this song. That's it. Everything on top of that is orchestration and arrangement, which Lin did in collaboration with Alex. Something I love about this is called a perfect fifth, this interval. It's a very bright interval. When we talk about harmony in terms of light sounds and dark sounds, bright sounds and dark sounds, this is kind of a Jacob Collier idea. We think of the circle of fifths being every time you build on top of a note with a fifth, like that, for example. We think of that being a very bright sound, and then we think of the circle of fourths, which is when you stack fourths on top of each other, that interval. We think of that being a very dark sound. So here we get this bright sound, this F5, and then we get this even brighter sound, which is B flat on the bottom, and then a fifth up from that is F, which we see here. A fifth up from that is C, which we see here, and then to make it even brighter here at the end, a fifth up from C is a G, and then a fifth up from G is a D. So we literally go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps on the circle of fifths, and those are the only notes being played in this entire bar in the piano part. So it's just this very, very bright sound, which represents, Eliza's optimism and all of that. It's a very happy song. And then Eliza here is riffing on basically almost entirely on the pentatonic scale, which is this very simple scale because it only has 5 notes and it doesn't have any semitones in it. That's all from that pentatonic scale of F, G, A, C, D. And we often associate that pentatonic scale with, like childlike innocence because it's the basis for a lot of nursery rhymes and stuff. Rain, 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 go away, come again some other day. That's all part of that pentatonic scale, which I can't play on the piano apparently, even though it's the simplest scale. So here we get this this hook here. Helpless, look into your eyes and the sky's the limit. One of the things that makes it feel very hip-hop is the fact that the 16th notes are swung, which means that instead of look into your eyes and the sky's the limit, instead of being very straight like that, where every 16th note is the same length of time, instead of that, we get this little swing. Look into your eyes and the sky's the limit. So there's a bit of a groove that's very 90s hip hop. And then these harmonies are also very 90s hip hop because they're just thirds. They're no more complex than that. That's the melody. And then if we go up a third from that on the scale, that's all it is. A third, by the way, if you don't know, is literally 3 notes higher on the scale. So if you have an F in the F major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A third up from F is 1, 2, 3, that A. And a third up from G is 1, 2, 3, the B flat. And a third up from A is 1, 2, 3, the C. So it's just thirds, literally. Down for the count and I'm drowning in 'em. Then this is also very hip-hop. It's her singing, but she's singing it all on one note, so it feels very rap-like or rap-adjacent, even though it is written, notated as sung. It's not, you've never been the type to try to grab the spotlight. It's not true rap, but it feels very R&B, very rap influenced because it's all one note. I have never been the type to... I have never been the tripe to tie and grab the spotlight. That is not the words. I have never been the type to try and grab the spotlight. We were at a rebel with some rebels on a hot night. And then, some little melodic embellishments there. You walked in and my heart went boom. Trying to catch your eye from the side of the ballroom. Everybody's dancing in the van's top volume. Then here again, thirds in the harmony. This here, from this C to this F, you might say is like, wait a second, that's not a third, that's a fourth. And you would be right about that. C is 1, 2, 3, 4 notes away from F, that's a fourth. But C is a third above A, so that's where it comes from. The top harmony here is singing A, and a third up from that is 1, 2, 3, C. So we just move the C down the octave, and it still counts as being harmonies in thirds. Because A and C are a third away from each other. So I would still consider that being harmony in thirds. Again, that's thirds. Very hip-hop. But also, it's also very musical theater, this song. And let me show you how that is. Listen to this piano part here, where they're singing, helpless. We get this those chords in the right hand are very, here it doesn't add the second, but I think it adds the second somewhere else. Yeah, here. This is a very musical theater combo of chords. Jason Robert Brown would love that stuff. This here is basically a C major chord with an added fourth. Here's C major. Usually the chord is the first and the third and the fifth note built off of the bass note, which is C. But then here we add the fourth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, that F, to create this really clashy chord because of the F and the E that are right next to each other. So there's this lovely, tense, beautiful chord that Jason Robert Brown uses in all his songs. And then that goes to this add 9, which is the same as an add 2 chord, because if you count up 9 notes from B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you get C. And if you count 2 up, 1, 2, you get also C. So an add 9 and an add 2 are the exact same thing. So we get like basically a C over F and then a B flat add 2, which are two very classic, like Jason Robert Brown, contemporary musical theaters chords. Jason Robert Brown will use them, Pasek Paul will use them. And notably, hip-hop musicians don't use them very much. So we get these elements that are very hip-hop, these third harmonies. We get the consistent singing on one note to feel like R&B or rap. But then we also get these musical theater chords, and it just kind of shows how Lin is bridging the gap between hip-hop and musical theater. And again, I don't know how much of this is actually Lin-Manuel. I don't know if he sat down and came up with those two chords. That might have been Alex Lacamoure's job, right? Alex and Lin's collaboration involves a lot of overlap. So again, we cannot discount Alex Lacamoire and his contributions to this show. There's that very bright G and D again because of the circle of fifths. Then we go into the next verse, which is basically the exact same. Here, this, by the way, these little X's, that means spoken and not sung on pitch. Anytime you see a little X like that, that means that the note doesn't have a pitch to it. So this is not actually on a B flat, even though the note is on the staff line that would mean B flat. She's not saying, I'm just saying if you really love me, you would share 'em. No. She's saying, I'm just saying if you really love me, you would share 'em. So that's what that X means, and that's what differentiates this, the spoken sections, from these like sung sections that, even though they are all on one pitch, they are still very much sung. Laughing at my sister cause she wants to form a harem. That's different because the note head is full, and here the note head is an X. 2 weeks later in the living room, stressing. No pitch, those are X's. Father stone faced while you're asking for his blessing. No pitch, those are X's. Dying in silence, then we have the oohs in thirds again. She's telling the story. Again, we have the riff written out in perfect notation, exactly what she sings. And so the idea is that every person who plays Eliza will sing the exact same thing as well. Those riffs are very intentional. Another very musical theater little piano part here. Like, that's so Jason Robert Brown musical theater. Then we come into Hamilton's verse. So Lin-Manuel Miranda has said that Helpless is structured like a hip-hop song. If you look at like a Beyonce love song that features Jay-Z, right, it'll be the exact same structure where we have a verse and then a chorus, then a verse and then the chorus again, and then where the bridge section would come in a traditional verse, chorus, bridge, chorus structure, we get the rap verse and then back to the chorus. So Hamilton comes in to do his little feature rap verse. So this is directly taken from hip-hop structure, not musical theater structure. And Hamilton has his little section here. Again, you can hear on the recording where Hamilton goes from singing to true rapping. He goes, Eliza, I don't have a dollar to my name, an acre of land, a troop to command, a dollop of fame. All I have is my honor, a tolerance for pain. All on the pitch. And then a couple of college credits from a top-notch brain. Insane, your family brings out a different side of me. And then he goes to speak singing, where there's no specific pitch, and you can see that notated here. So the other thing that makes Hamilton really interesting to me is that traditionally, you know, hip-hop is a very like free-flowing art form. It comes from like jazz if you trace its roots all the way back. And so to see hip-hop music and hip-hop style music notated so specifically, where every riff is notated note for note exactly how the singer needs to sing it, and every moment where the actors need to switch from speaking like true rapping to rapping but sung rapping, like all of those switches are notated perfectly, which is very interesting, and I've never seen hip-hop music notated like this. Hamilton really is kind of a unique beast in that way, and I think we owe a lot of it to Alex Lacamoure's music supervision for keeping, you know, all of the sheet music super, super detailed and accurate to what happens on the stage. then, I mean, the ending is kind of this overlap of the hook, the riff that we've heard Eliza do before. Hamilton comes in with his Eliza, which is just classic. This riff is written out note for note, which is an incredibly fast riff. There's 3 beams on these notes here. So that means they're a 30-second note. There's 32 notes of that length in the bar. If you see a note with 1 beam like this, that's an 8th note. So there's 8 of them in a bar. If you see a note with 2 beams like this, that's a 16th note. So that's twice as fast as an 8th note. The 30-second notes with 3 beams are twice as fast as 16th notes, which are twice as fast as 8th notes, which are twice as fast as quarter notes, which are twice as fast as half notes, etc. So these are extremely fast notes. She's riffing extremely quickly down the pentatonic scale there. And then here, here we have this very musical theater thing. I think there's actually almost something exactly like this in For Forever from Dear Evan Hansen, which came, I guess, premiered on Broadway the year after this. But this little musical theater piano riff, right, with these chords, these like major 9 chords or major 7/2 chords. Again, the 2 and the 9 are interchangeable, right? I think there's something almost identical to that in For Forever with this like lead in. And again, though, the swung 16th notes make it feel kind of hip-hoppy still, even though it's very like contemporary musical theater. Sorry, wait. Like, if that was straight, it would be just 100% straight Jason Robert Brown, right? Like, what is that? Wait. There we go. It would be, right? That feels like classic musical theater to me anyways. But the swinging helps keep it hip hop. And then, of course, the orchestrations, right? This is not what you hear when you listen to the cast recording. You don't hear the piano going. That's very far in the background because there's so many instruments and the drums are pumped super loud on the cast recording and they're very hip-hop style drums. So again, Alex Lacamoure's contributions, right, in arrangements and orchestration and music supervision. Here I love this. I love that they bring in the theme of "In New York you can be a new man," and then again harmonies in thirds. And again, you might say, wait a second, is that a third? No, it's not. It's a fourth because D, 1, 2, 3, 4, D to G is a fourth, yes, and C to F is a fourth. But again, the G with the B flat, that's a third apart, and then B flat to D, that's a third apart. So again, it's just harmonies in thirds. If I just played them all in root position and we didn't move the notes by octaves, it would literally be, we're just going between F and G minor, which are just basic triads, thirds stacked on top of each other. Anything you see here that looks like it's a fourth is actually just an inversion of a third being stacked on top of another third. And then here, it's giving wedding. We have the that is borrowed directly from, the like the wedding, that like church organ theme. I don't actually know where that's from, but that feels very church organ-y, right? Like I wonder if I can change the sound on my thing to a pipe organ and you can hear it. Wait. Right? Isn't that's giving church to me. It's giving wedding. So he uses that to end the song, and then this little button. Yeah. there you go. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you noticed a few things in the song that you've never noticed before. I have a very exciting update coming. I'm going to post a video about it to the channel on Sunday, which is when I often post my weekly update videos. If you are signed up to my mailing list, you already know what this exciting update is. If you don't want to miss exciting updates in the future, you should sign up to my mailing list. There's a link in the description. But yes, there's a video coming on Sunday about this very, very exciting update in my life. And if you're new here, hi, thank you so much for watching the whole video. How nice of you. Why don't you subscribe and we'll hang out more in the future. Awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, my name is Mateo Chavez Lewis, and this has been Music Theater Theory. Whoa, helpless. Peace out, y'all.